Yo, what is going on YouTube? I think I'm just on YouTube. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. I'm trying this from my phone. Um, I've never done that before with this specific app. So I figured we just try it out. I am at my daughter's swim practice, and yeah, there's not much for me to do. So I figured, hey, let's do a live AMA and see what's up with y'all. See how y'all are doing. If you can hear me, say something in the comments, please. Oh, thank you. Brandon Bowman, you just got home and the Braves are on. Well, sorry. Am I disturbing your baseball? My bad. Kraken game, hockey. Perfect. I'm sorry I'm interrupting your hockey experience. But I hope you all are doing wonderful. I figured we'd just do an AMA, see if you guys have any questions, see what's new with y'all. I'm chilling like a villain. If you guys don't know, we'll take this time really quick. I am working for a new company now. I haven't put anything out about that yet on the YouTube, really. Have I? Maybe I have in the community area. I haven't done videos in a long time. Haven't done a live stream in a long time. It's been a hot minute, man. But anyway, if you guys are familiar with the Cyber Mentor, I don't know how many of you out there are familiar with the Cyber Mentor. Raise your hand or something. Put it in the chat. Office Too Crazy, infrastructure, network security engineer, firewall, MFA, how to break into cybersecurity. You want to know how to break into cybersecurity? Is that your question? I don't even know what your name is, but you're currently studying for a bachelor degree in IT. Good luck to you. Office Too Crazy, you know the Cyber Mentor. All right, perfect. TCM Security, that's who I'm working for now. Me and the Cyber Mentor and myself have teamed up. And I am now working for TCM Academy or security, and I'm super stoked about it. I'll put out a real video about that later, like some other day, when I get time. I have had like zero time. Should you wait before getting certified, or should you just start applying? You should definitely just start applying for sure. If you're currently studying for a certification, you can put on your resume like that certification in progress, estimated completion date, yada yada yada, and that should be sufficient. But yeah, definitely start applying now, because if you haven't figured it out yet, it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to get an IT job. Definitely doable, but you'll definitely want to get on that as soon as possible. So apply to all of the things. It'll be great. Abdullah Hussein. You want to start an IT career? Is it really hard? Because most of the people discourage me because you have passion in IT here and you want to start in Kenya. Advertise university. Okay, so I'm not sure about other countries. I can't tell you. Like, I don't know. I have no clue what the job market is like anywhere other than the United States. So I don't know what it's like in Kenya. I'm sorry. But if you feel passionate about something, like, you should definitely do it, no matter what that is. I always feel that way. Like, if you have a passion for something, definitely try to do that for sure. It'll make things so much easier, so much more enjoyable, for sure. Office Too Crazy, you have a couple of TCM courses, Linux and privilege escalation. Perfect. How are you enjoying it so far? Timmy, you have court today. Do I think you'll receive prison time? I don't know. What did you do? AJ Smith, no IT background, just started the CompTIA A+, 30 years of age. How can I navigate to cybersecurity? Well, you're starting off with the CompTIA A+, which is really great because that's like very fundamentals-based certification, one of the best fundamentals-based certifications. So once you blast through the A+, then you can start lining up like the Security Plus would be a great start. Even studying for, I hate talking about the Network Plus because whatever, but it's still, there's value there in just learning it. You'll definitely want to learn some of the stuff from the Network Plus that'll help you with the Security Plus. But yeah, definitely go for Security Plus because I think that's one of the best certifications on the market just in general now because of security. Like, I can go into a lot of detail about that, but I'm not going to. But once you do this, okay, once you go through your A+, Security Plus, start looking up different jobs in the cybersecurity world and figure out what it is that you want to do. Figure out what job that you know can find. Like you look up pen testers, look up malware, like threat analysts, look up. God, there's so many different jobs in cyber, but you literally have to like look these up. You have to take the time to do this and research. What do these people do on a day-to-day basis? What are the skills that they need to be successful in their job? And if you go through and do this, like if you actually research these jobs, you're going to find something, or you should find something that will align towards what you want to do. And once you do that, then it's a great time to come back to somebody like me, somebody like, you know, the Cyber Mentor, like so many people out there, especially on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the bomb.com. But yeah, once you figure out, like once you have an idea on what it is that you want to do, you start aligning yourself towards those, towards goals to make that happen, or towards ways to make, you know, your goals happen is what I should say. You know, so if you decide, hey, I took the time and I researched and I want to be a pen tester, well, then I would say, hey, go for like the PNPT certification, which is the Practical Networking Penetration Tester certification. Strongly recommend that. Outside of that, you know, there's like OSCP, there's Pentest Plus. We're not even going to mention the other one from that other company because nobody likes them. So, but yeah, like there's a lot of great resources out there that can help guide you for sure. Your favorite persuasion? Hey, Zach, you have your Security Plus and you just finished your CISA Plus certificate next week. No degree right now. What titles should you apply for? I mean, job titles in IT are ludicrous. Like job titles in IT are the most ridiculous thing, one of the most ridiculous things in the world. And I'll tell you why. And I've said this like a billion times. You could take two job titles from different companies, right? They could be the same exact job title. Let's just use network engineer for an example. Network engineer at company A, network engineer at company B. They both have the same job title, but if you look at the actual job description, they are completely different from one another. Like this happens so frequently in IT. You can't pay attention to job titles. Like literally doesn't even matter what the job title is. Look at the job description because that's really going to tell you what you're going to be doing. And I bring up network engineer because there's so many times where people want to be network engineers, right? They think they're going to be working in like Cisco switches all day and firewalls all day long. And they start applying for network engineer jobs. And a lot of the network engineer jobs, for whatever reason, more so represent like a systems administrator type of job, which is not networking at all. But like some companies, organizations, whatever, have no idea about job titles and they use that job title. Not like it's stupid. Okay. Like that. Don't pay attention to job titles. Like they can help guide you in the right direction, but it's really those job descriptions that are going to be the most helpful. But for you, just starting out, you're going to want to try to find as like all the entry level jobs that you can find for sure. I hope that is helpful. I can't keep up with the chat on the phone. See, I got the bearded IT dad. What's up, bro? For guys, is there a correlation between the length of your beard and the amount of IT skills you possess? No. We won't even go there. Zika AM, would you please tell me where to start IT support? You've never been in this field. Thanks. Start off with something like the CompTIA A+. Wonderful certification for shizzle. You living blue team or red team? That goes back to line your path towards where you want to be. Like, and somebody's just asking, what's high in demand right now? It literally does not matter what's high in demand right now. Like, it literally does not, because you, at the end of the day, like, you should be finding, like, especially if you want to work in IT, because there's so many different jobs and so many different things that you can do. Find the things that you are going to enjoy. Like, I could tell you all day long that cloud is popping, which it is. I could tell you all day long that security is popping, which it is. And of course, I will always tell you, become a developer. Like, developers make a crap ton of money and they are always in need. But you might not enjoy any of those things. So it does not matter. Like I would not, I don't want people to like come into this field going for the jobs that like they think are hot right now and in the most like in demand right now, right this second, because in like 2 weeks it could completely change. Now I don't think in 2 weeks like cloud or security or developers, the need for all of those is going to change, but a year from now it could change, right? And it's realistically going to take you at least a year to get ready to get yourself into this field, right? Like going through certifications, labbing at home, building your own labs, um, going through, capture the flags if you want to be in security, and like try hack me and hack the box, all those fun things, right? Like it's going to take you time to be like kind of geared up for this field, right? So like doesn't matter what's in demand right now, right this second, because things change. So just really to get yourself ready, get yourself to a starting point. And then once you get to that starting point, then you can start figuring out like which avenues of IT you want to go down. Umair M. Hey, Zach, it's been a long time. How have you been? I've been fantastic. Cesar Morales, what's up, sir? Marius Radu. I don't know. I'm terrible with names. My bad. Hey, man, you're about to start applying for entry-level IT jobs, no IT experience, and need to completely redo your CV. Do you have any tips what to put on there to make me more viable for a company? Well, if you have customer service experience, that's going to be very, very helpful. And there are so many times, especially nowadays in 2021, that basically like all jobs, every job, like you're going to be doing something on a computer, right? For the most part, like there's so many times where technology is involved in just every single job that exists nowadays, right? So align your resume towards like the things that you've done technology wise. Are you proficient in Microsoft Office, right? Like that could be extremely helpful for you. But always like it's going to be customer service for entry level jobs. You can highlight that, always going to be a good thing. Highlight the customer service, highlight that you love to learn, you're passionate about learning, and you take directions well. And yeah, that's a good starting point, I think. What to do if you cheated through your IT courses in college? Now you are a junior. Shame. Shame. Alejandro, you just started an IT career accelerator course at your community college. It's over AWS Architects certification. They have industry connections that will get each of us mock interviews from Fang. Okay. Is there more? Am I missing more? Uh, okay. From Fang companies and mentors and all this good stuff, even a monetary stipend of 2,500. Best of all, it's free. Okay. Are you like promoting that? I don't know. Sounds like you're promoting that. So whatever. What is average of SOC analyst level 2 in USD? Go on glassdoor.com. That's gonna be your best bet. Even Indeed now has like the average salary ranges for, you can look up different titles and all that fun stuff, and it'll give you a good idea. It's going to be all over the place. Like any type of salary question is always going to be all over the place because it highly depends on where you live, right? And even nowadays, right? Like I guess that I can't say that all the time now because everything is remote. So it depends still mostly on where that company is located. You're gonna find that for sure. So yeah, average salary. I'm interested to see what average salaries are going to start looking like across the United States, for instance, with everything going remote. You sometimes you guys get me thinking about this stuff, and then I really gotta get into it because that's an interesting thought. Like many like right now, if you go on Indeed.com or Glassdoor.com, like those sites, right, like their data should start representing what the salaries are like in the last year, like with this remote stuff happening. But like, what does that look like going further into the future? Because like typically, right, and like you guys got me thinking, okay? Because typically, right, like we'll just use system administrator as an example, right? A system administrator in Chicago is going to be on a completely different salary than a like a system administrator in Bufu, Idaho, right? Like you're going to have different salaries because the cost of living in Chicago is much higher than the cost of living in Bufu, Idaho, right? But with this, pandemic and whatnot, I got to watch the words that I say because YouTube will get mad at me. With that in mind, right? Like somebody from a system administrator from Idaho could be working that same job, like that same job that's in Chicago, right? Like so there's a lot of discussion around pay and being remote and all that fun stuff. Oh man, I'm taking note of this because it's really something I'm curious about now. I kind of want to pull the data on that. I'd really love to see the data. So thank you. Now I'm going to have to look that up. Jerry, hey, sorry for the long question. You're a recent graduate in Nigeria, Africa. You're leaving 2023 and you want to be a pen tester. Should you focus on learning stuff on pen testing or get a certificate like A+? I mean, if you're staying in Africa, like I couldn't tell you like what's going to be most valuable out there. If you want to be a pen tester, like you still need to know the fundamentals, right? That's where the A+ will always come into play. So anytime anybody ever comes to me and says, Zach, I want to be in cybersecurity, Zach, I want to be a pen tester, I want to be an ethical hacker. What cyber security certifications and whatnot should I be like gearing myself up for? I have no experience. I've never been in IT. And still, like, I'm always going to tell somebody, learn the A+. I'm not telling you need to go take that certification, but I'm telling you that you need to know and understand a majority of the information that's on the CompTIA A+. Not everything, because there's a lot of crap on the A+, not going to lie, but a majority of the A+ content is very fundamentals based, and you need to know and understand that stuff. So yes, that's what I got to say. I can't keep up with the chat, especially on a phone. So I'm sorry. Justin Williams, why don't corporate IT jobs respect our K-12 IT experience? You get grilled hard when interviewing for corporate IT jobs. I mean, so the difference between K-12 and a corporate IT job is money, right? Like school district, they don't make money. Like there's no money involved there. But for a corporate job, everything falls back to revenue, right? So yes, the interview process, even the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis are going to be completely different. Policies, procedures will all be completely different. And you're most often going to, these people are expecting more out of people going into corporate IT. Again, because it falls back to money, right? Like they want to make sure that their people are skilled and knowledgeable enough to set foot into their environment and they're not going to screw anything up and lose them money. Like that's always what it's going to fall back to. So yes, if you're interviewing for corporate IT jobs, more often than not, it's going to be a lot more difficult than applying for jobs in a school district. School districts are a lot less lenient because they're not making money. So you take something down, the only like the kids are suffering, right? Like the students suffer, but nobody's losing any money. So nobody cares, right? Still going through comments. I don't know how far behind I am, but I'm sure I am. And so, okay, anybody who wants to give flack on the A+, right? Like it's still to this day, many jobs require the A+. So many jobs require that certification. And you can go out on Indeed.com right now and look up CompTIA A+ certification, and you should probably still see thousands of jobs that are asking for that certification. So if anybody ever tells you the CompTIA A+ is worthless, they don't know what they're talking about, because the facts are, like literally, the facts are, it's still a much, like, it's still a very valued certification based on Indeed.com, right? Like people want it. Taekwon Gong and Hazak just stopping by to say hi. Hello. You're feeling a bit down. I'm sorry that you're feeling a bit down. I hate that. Somebody asked a question about being old in IT, I'm guessing, that I missed. You're never too old to work in IT. Never, ever, ever. So should I start with help desk? I always tell people to start with help desk. Like, always. Any type of entry level IT role. Like, you want to get started in IT, I don't care what position you want to work. Whether you want to be a cloud engineer, network engineer, whether you want to be a pen tester, I literally do not care. Start off in an entry level role. Start off in help desk, because there's so much for you to learn, and you will not learn any faster than being on the help desk or any type of entry level role. Like, those jobs, you get so much crap thrown your way. You learn. I think you just learn and pick up on so much more than you would like stepping foot into any other type of IT job, because there's so much that you're going to miss out on by not stepping foot into an entry level role, like especially help desk. So I have lots of thoughts on that. Like, yeah, the entire way that we recruit people into this field, and the things that we go through to get jobs in this field is somewhat like ludicrous at times. And I put this thing out on LinkedIn last week, and it was like this meme or whatever, and it was like, this guy is in for an interview, and the interviewer asks this person, "Do you have any experience?" And the person that they were interviewing says, "No, I don't have any experience." And the interviewer was like, "That's okay. I hope you get some experience here. You're hired." Right. And I called people out on that. And I was like, this is exactly how everybody should be hiring for entry level jobs. And if you aren't doing this, you're an asshole. Sorry, YouTube's now going to demonetize this video, but it's worth it, because if jobs require experience, if jobs require experience for an entry level job, I'm sorry, I'm like screwing up my words here. If you require experience for an entry level job, you are an asshole, plain and simple. Like, period. There's no reason that any experience should be required for an entry level job, including IT. You don't need experience. It's not required because it's entry level. Like, if you guys missed this, please follow me on LinkedIn, because I'm always on the LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my favorite. Just saying. Yeah, man, you guys are like on fire with these questions. That's how it should be, babe. Is that what you're saying? Your fave persuasion? AR period. You saw that? Didn't know that was your page. I mean, I saw the meme somewhere, and I was like, this makes, like, this is what people should be doing. If you require experience for an entry level job, you are seriously an a-hole. Sorry for using naughty words. I'm going through comments here. I'm sorry. It's very difficult on a phone. It's not as easy. T. Crawford, after getting a degree in information systems, would T-SQL be enough to snag an entry-level data analyst job? I mean, it's entry level, right? Should be fine. I don't know. Actually, I'm not really sure on that one. I mean, if you're going for any type of data analyst, like any type of data job, like those like jobs specifically often look for degrees more so than a lot of other jobs in IT. I should actually do a video on like what jobs actually like favor degrees more than anything else. That would be one of them, because a lot of times you're going to find that some college courses really line up their curriculum towards jobs like that. So if you have a degree and you're going for any type of like data job, like you should more than likely be fine. And then anything else after that is just really increasing your odds. What's up, KevTech IT support? I love seeing you here, brother. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. It's so with like the corporate IT stuff, like I went from working in a school district to working a corporate job. I wouldn't say the interview process was much different. They did ask a lot of different questions, and the environment was a lot different than working in school districts. But again, like I said, falls back to money, right? Always falls back to money. I loved working with school districts though. Like that was like the most laid back, like fun job I think I've had. And I've worked for multiple school districts. Um, definitely my most favorite job that I've ever had, aside from the one that I'm currently working, was working for a hospital. Like the hospital that I worked at, like that was amazing. And now that's something you want to talk about, like that's like completely different in its own right. Like you could, I would split up like working in education versus corporate versus working at a hospital, because like they're all so different. But like definitely working in a hospital, like you have people's lives, like indirectly people's lives are in your hands. And once you think about that and understand that, you take a lot more pride in your work. I promise you that. RBG Tech 16. Is worth it quitting a low pay job to go for a boot camp? Probably not. You said a word that I hate now. I won't get into that on this stream. RGB Tech. Did I lose weight? I did. So from February of this year until now, I've lost over 50 pounds, which is just absolutely insane to me. So I fit into like all these clothes that I haven't been able to fit into in years, and it's amazing. I feel ecstatic about it. It's just yes. How's my new gig? I literally work for the coolest person I've ever met in my life. I ain't even gonna lie. Like Heath Adams, the Cyber Mentor, literally one of the most cool people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting and now working for. Basically, yeah, if you don't know about the Cyber Mentor, just Google the Cyber Mentor. We do penetration testing for companies, and we also have the TCM Academy, because Heath Adams delivers some of the best like ethical hacking courses. Heath Adams and Joe Helly, can't, I always screw up his name. Joe Hale, whatever. Anyway, they make some amazing content over there, and we have our own certification that's very much practical focused. That's all of our courses very much focus on practical learning. I'm not going to make this all about this. I'm just going to shut my mouth. But the Cyber Mentor literally stands for everything that I stand for. Very much community driven, very much wants to give back to the community and help people. We want to help people. That's exciting for me because I want to help people. So my new gig, literally the best job I've ever had, like hands down. I love it. Yeah, there's so much to be done too, so much. Tips on motivation in the industry. Imposter syndrome is real. If you recognize imposter syndrome, that's actually a good thing. You don't need to know everything to work in IT. Like those are the best tips that I can give you. You don't need to know everything to work in IT. Period. Tahir Khan, tomorrow you have an interview for IT support specialist. Give you some tips. This is going to be the best tip that I can give you. If you don't know something, if they ask you a question, especially that's technology related, if you don't know it, be honest. Say, I don't know this, but this is exactly what I would do to figure it out. And you have to answer it just like that. So if you don't know something, I don't know that specific technology. I don't know how to troubleshoot that specific thing that you asked about, but I'm going to go home and I'm going to get on Google. I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to get on Reddit. I'm going to get on Stack Overflow. I'm going to find all of these resources that I can to learn this very specific thing. And if you can do that, like if you could do that in the interview, then you'll be okay in the interview. Because again, it falls back to you're not expected to know everything in IT. There's no way that you could possibly know everything in this field. But what you are expected to know is how to find the answers, because as a technology professional, that should be literally like the most easy thing for you to do. We can find all of the answers very, very easily, like extremely easily. So if you can relay that you know how to find the answer, you're straight. You're good. Sorry, going through questions. Your favorite persuasion? Have you talked about newbies in tech and companies trying to take advantage and offer low pay, expecting them to take it out of desperation? I have talked about that many times, and it's something that like it's going to be hard for the industry to fix. It's going to be hard for people to fix because there's so many people who are desperate to get into this field that they'll take a low pay job, and it just to these companies that just like tells them that they can continue to do it. And companies will continue to do that as long as people are taking those jobs. If you stop taking those jobs, just like, like food service and stuff, just like they kind of experience this now. Their food service industry is so short staffed on people, like they're paying a lot of money for these jobs now, or a lot more money, right? So it's like the IT industry almost has to do the same to an extent, but I wouldn't say it's as bad, obviously. But yeah, as long as people keep taking these jobs at a low pay, it's just going to keep happening. You know, it's just what it is, yo. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. You've been feeling like you'll never reach your goal of being a hacker. So much info. I feel I should negate my goal and just settle. Why? Like, if man, there's so much I want to say to that because okay, goes back to again, you don't need to know everything. So don't go into like, I want to be a hacker and you need to know everything. You don't need to know everything. Everything that you learn comes over time, like through experience. It's not something that you just pick up and learn in a couple months and you're an expert in, right? Like, especially if you want to become like a pen tester or an ethical hacker or whatever, that could take years. And like you cannot compare yourself to others. And so often we do this, and social media is to blame because on social media, like you only hear the good stuff. You only hear about the good things from people. You never hear about the failures. Like you never hear about that. I just made a post today, ironically enough, like tell me about your failures. And I went first. Like failed my security plus the first time I took it. One time I took an entire school district down because I plugged the switch back into itself and looped it. So the whole entire network went down. I failed a couple times, but I learned from it. But yeah, like if you want to be a hacker, I'm using your words. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Using your words, if that's what you want to do, take the time to do it. It's not going to happen overnight. Like it's just not. Take the time, learn and understand what you're going to do, and do not compare yourself to other people and what they're doing. You are on tech systems and they are only paying like $18 an hour for some roles. That's probably about right. Depends on where you live, right? Javier failed the security plus 3 times and pen test 1. Yeah. And you're still going, right? You're still going. Just like KevTech IT support says, stop comparing yourself to other people. Everyone learns differently, and we can all be successful in IT. Like, so true. What do I think about working in big companies like Google? I've never worked for a big company like Google, so I couldn't tell you. It would be like a dream, right? Like, that would be really cool. But I think everybody has a different, outlook on these things and a different perspective on these things. So I think it would be cool, but just because I think it would be cool doesn't mean that it actually would be cool, you know? That's I guess how I feel. A7K8K6I. Thank you for all your work. You landed a job because of my tips. You're also very happy for my success. Thank you, man. Congratulations to you. That's awesome. I'm so that's surreal. Surreal. Anyway, I don't know if I'm caught up on the chat. I went all the way down to the bottom of the chat, so I probably missed some questions, but I don't have much time anyway. So I appreciate everybody who's been here for this live AMA out of nowhere, out of the blue. I appreciate all of you. Like you guys are amazing. Seriously. Okay. I don't see any more questions. So you guys got about like 5 more minutes. I'm checking my watch right here. You got about 5 more minutes. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. I just want to help people. Like at the end of the day, I just want to help people. Like seriously. Legit. And I think I've helped people. And that feels pretty cool. Like I feel pretty good about that. I feel really good about that. Especially who I'm working with now. I feel great. I feel amazing. Where can you reach me? You have some questions? If you have questions, this is where you reach me. Because I guarantee you, if you try to reach me anywhere else and ask questions, I probably won't answer you. Our Office 365 cert's worth it? Yes, for sure. Any type of Microsoft certification is worth it. Period. You could have just said, are Microsoft certifications worth it? Yes. Anytime you get a Microsoft certification, that's like money right there. Value. People love to see that stuff. It's the same with Cisco. Like having a Microsoft certification or a Cisco certification, like that's huge for you. Andy Winter with the super chat. Thank you very much, bro. I really do appreciate that. You just got hired as an application support engineer. All you do is junior dev work in C, MVC, React.js, and Web API 2.0. I took this gig to get to this experience. How long till you can bounce and go somewhere that values you as a developer? Man, that's a great question because it really depends on you like your knowledge and what you're doing and what you can show that you're doing, especially when it comes to the development. So I would imagine you have like a GitHub and you have like hopefully a website or something to show off your work. That's something like you definitely have to do as a developer. Like you definitely have to be able to show the things that you're capable of doing. And this is just like the same with IT. Like I tell everybody, like build a home lab and document everything that you're doing. So for you, like, get your GitHub going, get a website going, and document all of the things that you're doing and all of the things that you're building and show that off. Have that accessible for people so that they can see it. So that's going to help you make this transition for you a little bit easier into a company that values you more because you're going to show what your value is. So, and then typically, like what I like to say is like a year or two is a good amount of time to like lay down some foundation somewhere, get some experience, and then move on. Like in IT, like, the typical like, there's a word I'm looking for here and I can't figure it out. Like turnaround, like the typical turnaround time in IT is like, I think between like 1 and 3 years now. And for so long, I said it's like between 2 and 4 years, but there's so many people are just transitioning very, very quickly into different roles by getting like a year of experience. So you have to really play on your experience and what you can actually do. I hope that's helpful. Porsche 911 fan, you're in a cybersecurity boot camp. Where can you go, or do you have any recommendations in terms of Google resources? As far as what? If you're in a cybersecurity boot camp, that boot camp should be like, especially for the money that boot camps charge, they should really be like laying down a lot of what you need to know. And if they're not doing that, well, choice words for them. But anyway, yeah, if you want to get more experience, I highly suggest like Hack the Box, try Hack Me. Those types of resources are very, very helpful. And of course, TCM Security, the Cyber Mentor. Go check out our courses because all of our courses are very much fundamental based, or practical based. Like that's kind of where we shine, is we're going to show you the practical skills that you need to be successful in these jobs. And everybody could tell you that. Anybody who's gone through the Cyber Mentors courses, will tell you that. Like, I don't even have to say good things. Like, I could stop saying good things about TCM security, and everybody else will do like the work for me, because like all day, every day, all I see is people like complimenting us and what we're doing and saying just amazing things about what we're doing. And these are IT professionals who've worked in this field for a long time, who acknowledge like this is real, this is practical, this is the stuff that you need to be knowing, right? This is the stuff that you need to know to be successful. So yeah. Juan, Microsoft versus CompTIA search, which are a better value? Is that a real question? Like, seriously? Like, CompTIA is like way at the bottom always. CompTIA is just like, they're the most fundamental based certification provider in the entire world, right? Like, they're all very basic certifications. Like, they're difficult, right? For sure, but still at the end of the day, it's all very much fundamental based. You can't even compare that to a Microsoft certification in any way whatsoever. I think I can't remember who. I'm pretty sure Microsoft is like the leader in IT certifications, as far as like the people who come through and take those certifications every year. I'm pretty sure like they have the highest amount of people. Doug, do I think 3 years of experience as a desktop support is enough to become a sysadmin? Not search, just experience. Potentially, it again, like that really depends on like the actual experience that you're gaining. Would it be is 3 years enough to become a sysadmin in that same company? Probably. Is 3 years enough to become a sysadmin for another company? Maybe not. Sysadmins do so much. So like, again, like it falls back to like those job descriptions and reading these job descriptions, especially for jobs that are near you, if that's what you want to do, or the remote jobs that you're applying for. Like, see what they're looking for and see where your skills match. You know, definitely, I would say like 3 years is enough to become a sysadmin if you're staying in the same company. If you're going off to a different company, that's where it's going to start to get a little bit like iffy. That's where certifications are going to greatly help you. It's sad but true. Javier, starting a new role in cybersecurity on the 25th. It's been a hell of a journey, and it all started with you, Zach. Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. I'm happy that I could help. That's, yeah. Congratulations to you, first of all. And yeah, it's crazy. Daniel, you say you want to work in AI, but you think you have to get your master's degree, so that would be a cert on your knowledge. Do you think this is a good choice? Why? I guess why are you asking that question? Like, what are you worried about? Oops, sorry. Do I think what is a good choice exactly? I don't know. Porsche 911 fan. Would you recommend starting at the desk job, and would I recommend getting the Network Plus before the Security Plus? I mean, typically, like everybody says, this is the way that it goes: CompTIA A plus, CompTIA Network Plus, CompTIA Security Plus. That's the CompTIA trifecta. You start with the A plus, go to the Net Plus, go to Security Plus. I personally think the Network Plus is not worth it. I'm sorry. CompTIA hates me anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the Network Plus, like, no, forget that. I would not waste my money on that certification. I would waste my time on learning that certification, like learning some of the fundamentals, because they could be very helpful. But I would not waste my money on getting that certification. I just wouldn't. That's my personal probably opinion on that. Don't waste your money. Microsoft or Wes or Google Cloud in terms of AWS. That's probably what you meant to say. In terms of cloud certifications, AWS is like king in the cloud. You want to be on the forefront of the cloud, learn AWS. Where can I take your courses? You could take the TCM courses at tcm-sec.com. think I can put that in the chat. www. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so this is hard to do. www.tcm. I see, I can't even spell it right. And now I got emojis popping up at me. Get out of here. tcmsec.com. Did it do it? Yeah, woo! You missed the good old days watching me? I missed the good old days of doing this. I mean, I really do. I always say that I want to do this more, and I never can because I got 4 kids and a new job, and I moved, and now I'm moving back, and my personal life is a freaking roller coaster cluster F. Legit. Juan, thank you. The question was for someone starting help desk. Oh, well, I hope that was helpful. Either way. Eddie the Yeti. I love that. Eddie the Yeti. Love it. Hey, man, you just received an email today from a hospital for a job interview applying for IT service desk. What should you prepare for? Look at the job description. The job description should give you an idea of the types of questions that they'll ask that will be technical, technical related. That's the best way to prepare. Take that job description and dissect the ever living heck out of it. And if there's things that you don't know, well, try to learn some of them. Okay, master's takes time and research, but with certifications that you mentioned, it'd be a lot easier to get a job rather than 2 or 3 years of master's. Yeah, so here's the things about like degrees. There's still a lot of companies that require degrees. So if you want to work for a company that has a degree requirement, even like a master's degree requirement, then you're going to have to do that. And oftentimes you're going to find that if you want to work in any type of management or above type of position, oftentimes you'll have to have a degree. If there's no jobs out there that like, if you find a job that you want to work at and they don't require a degree or don't require a master's or whatever, well, there you go. I hope that's helpful because that's like the best way to answer it all. He's a ninja and he's busy. Are you talking about me? I'm a ninja. Do I ever use Raspberry Pi? What kind of projects do I recommend to gain IT skills? I have a couple of different Raspberry Pis. For projects and stuff, like, again, this falls back to like stuff that you're interested in. Find things that you're interested in because it's going to be much easier for you to learn stuff if you find some type of interest in it. There's so many different things, like cool things that you could do with a Raspberry Pi. Like the last one that I did, like last project that I did with a Raspberry Pi was a MAC address scanner. So basically with the Wi-Fi, it's called Wi-Fi adapter because my brain's fried right now. You plug it into the Raspberry Pi and you basically scan all around you for devices that are trying to find a network, and you get all of their MAC addresses, and it's really kind of cool. So I did this at my house, right? And I know how many devices are in my house. So I know how many MAC addresses it should have picked up. I'm not sure what the radius of the Wi-Fi adapter is that I have, but I had like literally like 200 to like 250 different MAC addresses showing up when I did that scan. And that was just mind blowing to me. Like, how is there that many devices around me? But it probably makes sense. So it's crazy. Should you use your stimulus money to get your A+ in network for certification on CompTIA? For A+, sure, but not your Net Plus. If you want to, like, this is what I tell everybody, and some people don't like it. If you're thinking about getting the Network Plus, completely skip it and go get your CCNA. Like, you can go ahead and study for the Network Plus. The stuff that you'll learn from that certification is going to be very helpful, but don't get that certification. It's personal opinion. You want to get a certification that has value? Get a CCNA. Any tips for someone who is a nervous interviewee? That comes with time, man. Like, I think everybody's always nervous in an interview, but the more that you do, the more comfortable you'll get. But it's still always going to be nerve-wracking, like always. There's like no good tips that I could possibly give because I still get nervous in job interviews. Like it's yeah, it's something that like I think you learn to deal with. You currently work in help desk. Should you skip the A plus? Not. I mean, you could. Like that's kind of like the other thing about like IT. And I love that you say that. You currently like, do you have a degree, Juan? Do you have any degrees or any certifications? Learning every day. Just installed Ubuntu on external hard drive for the first time. Any ideas where to go from here? Yeah, just start learning. Like, start learning the terminal. Like, start learning all of the commands that you possibly can. That's where I would start in Linux, for sure. There's a lot of great courses out there that'll literally teach you all the fundamentals you need to know about Linux. That's not that bad. Juan, so you don't have a degree or any certifications and you're working help desk. Like, you're my favorite kind of story, bro. I love it when people come here and say that because it happens all the time. Like working in help desk, it's an entry level role. You don't need any experience. You don't need a degree. You don't need certifications. So much is taught on the job. 4 years of help desk experience. If you have 4 years of help desk experience, I wouldn't go for the A plus. I'd go get something different. Like start lining up your career to where you want to go, and get out of the help desk because 4 years is too long on the help desk. I mean, unless you really enjoy it and you're making good money, then stay in the help desk. But if you don't enjoy it that much and you're not making good money, get the heck off of the help desk. Anyway, I have to go. This went on a lot longer than I wanted it to. I have to go get my daughter. So thank you everybody who showed up for this live stream. Again, I'll try to do this like more often if I can. Maybe my boss will let me. Maybe he won't. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for coming and hanging out and asking questions. So take it easy.